Okay, welcome everybody to our session today. It is July 15th, 2026, and we are joined today with two special guests for our session on progress details for bulk jobs, part of the 2026 Roadmap webinar series. We have with us Baruch Picard from Alma Product Management. You may remember Baruch from our session a few weeks ago about physical fulfillment. So Baruch, thank you for joining us. And we also
Thank
have
you.
for the first time ever joining us in the 2026 Roadmap webinar series, Shai Ben-Hur from Product Engineering, Vice President of Product Engineering. Thank you, Shai, for joining us. Shai and Baruch will be looking at the chat as we go along, and we'll also be speaking at the end about general development ideas, why we've done what we've done, etc. So, what do we got planned for today? First of all, let's do a couple of little administrative issues. This is part of the 2026 Roadmap webinar series. I'm purposely not putting out the URLs here, and I'm not going to send out the URLs because I want to show we make sure that all of our documentation, all of our pages, everything is fully retrievable, discoverable. So if I put in here, for example, Alma 2026 release notes in Google, here we are. And we're talking about a June, just last month, a June enhancement about the progress details for jobs. So I could say here I want only June. I could say here I want only job progress details. There we are. So this is what we're discussing today. Came out in June. What we're showing now, everybody has. I am in a regular July release environment. I'm not on some special development environment. There are a few changes we have planned for future releases, but what I'm showing is the current release, and it's what you all have as well. So this is what we're showing today. You can see it in the release notes on your own. Also, this is part of the 2026 Roadmap webinar series. And we have a new page for this, but it links from the old page if you still have the old page. Here, it's going to redirect, or you can just click here. So this is our 2026 Roadmap webinar series page. And this is our session today. Just a reminder, this page lists all of our webinars for the Roadmap webinar series. It includes a column here with links to all of the accompanying materials. So for example, there's a long PowerPoint that I'm not going to show, maybe a slide or two, about the progress details for bulk jobs, also job management in general, scheduling the jobs, and a link to the online help. We already have here next month. Actually, no, it's in September. We're skipping August because a lot of people are on vacation. But as soon as September comes around, September 1st and 2nd, we're doing new physical item experience in Alma. Entirely redone the physical items after retrieval, the facets, the retrieving, the editing, a beautiful situation. So you can already sign up for that. You can already register, and you can also already read the accompanying material. Then there's the education webinars. So if you go to Google and you just type education webinars, Ex Libris, I'll put in a Clarivate. And here we are, education webinars, customer training sessions. Here we also have the ability to register for future sessions and view on-demand recordings for previous sessions. For example, here, you can already sign up for the September 1st session, new physical item experience in Alma. If I were to come here and search, for example, for Roadmap Webinar Series, sorry, you got to spell it properly when you're searching. There we go. And I'll just put that in there. So now I'm going to have here, if I want to say only the upcoming or only the on-demand, I'll say I want only the on-demand. And so now I have all of the 2026 Roadmap webinar series here on demand, which means I can view the recording. Watch now. So you can view the recordings here. You can view the recordings also from the 2026 Roadmap webinar series. One more item, if we come to YouTube, and you search for the Ex Libris Limited or Ex Libris Limited. I don't know if it's one word, two words. In any case, there's a lot of Ex Librises actually in um, in YouTube, but we know our Ex Libris, and that's the one we're concerned with. So this is the Ex Libris page, and you've got everything here as well. If we come into Ex Libris for Clarivate, for example, and I come to the playlists, we'll see that there's a dedicated playlist here for the 2026 Roadmap Webinar Series, so you can see it here as well. Okay, and without further ado, let's jump into our topic, the progress details for bulk jobs. If you have a question or comment, feel free to send it in the chat. Before we get to the specifics of the progress details for bulk jobs, I want to give a general overview slash introduction slash review explanation of the jobs. I don't want to go right into what we've done on the jobs. I want to make sure everybody is on the same page as far as what a job is. Now, I know it sounds very obvious. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, he's going to waste my time explaining to me what a job is. I know what a job is. But we want to look from the technical aspects of what a job is and how a job is different than an online transaction. And when a job works, how is it processing multiple entities at the same time? So we're going to start with what is a job. Then we're going to talk about the different types of jobs, scheduled jobs, manual jobs, workflow jobs. We're not going to spend too much time on the workflow jobs simply because we only have an hour. Profile jobs we'll look at very briefly. We're not going to look at this page. I left it in on purpose with the time permitting, so I've got a nice content here in case we ever have 2 hours. I've got something already set, but we're not going to have time for these. And then we're going to get to the meat, the real substance of our session. What is the progress details for bulk jobs? And then we're going to do some live examples. And again, everything is in this PowerPoint, which you can get from that page. It's 48 slides of exactly what the whole story is. I'm not going to show this because we want to see it live. So a job. Let's start with what is a job. So sometimes the easy way to explain what is something is also by explaining what isn't something. So a job is not an online transaction. There are online transactions and there are jobs. Let's take an example here. So I'm in Alma. Everybody still sees my screen. Just somebody give me a heads up if you see my screen. You should see Alma right now. Shai Baruch, do you see Alma?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
It's a good thing I asked. So I will, definitely a good thing I asked. So in that case, I will share my screen again. Okay. Did you see my screen before when I was searching Google?
We did.
No.
Great. Oh, I must
Yeah,
have done unshare at some stage. Okay. So now we're sharing. So now I'm in Alma. So we're talking about what is a job. Let's say, for example, I come along and I search any of these entities, borrowing requests. Let's take order lines. And let's say I want to get all order lines that have a vendor code ACHEN. That's the Alicia Chen vendor. And let's say I want only those that are in workflow sent. And I get, let's see how many. I get 39 results. And let's say this first one here, the love songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Let's say I want to change something here, one of the notes. Let's go to the quick access and go to the notes. Let's say in the note to the vendor, I want to say, who knows what. I'm going to click edit. And I'll say here, we prefer the hardcover if available. Otherwise, we will take softcover, paperback. Okay, so I added a note to a vendor and I say save. That is an online transaction. It's not a job, it's an online transaction. However, maybe for the vendor Alicia Chen, the vendor code Achen, I want to always make sure that there's a certain type of note with a certain text all the time. I could do it in all kinds of ways. Maybe I want to put it in my template for the purchase order lines. Maybe I want to make sure all of my users know about it. Or I could run a job. I could even schedule a job to constantly run and constantly update. It can run every day and update a logical file of the purchase order lines. And that would be a job. So, for example, if I perform that search again, same search, and instead of doing an online transaction, I say create logical set, and I call this afternoon webinar. We did a morning one. I want to make sure I know this is the one we're creating now. And I'll call it POL sent to Alicia Chen. All right. And we will save this. And I will not make it private, even though I could run a job on a private one if I'm the user. So now I have a set. Now I want to run a job on the set. So we can say admin run a job. And I will choose to run a job about purchase order lines. And there's all different kinds of ways to filter here. I'll say update purchase order lines. Let's say I want to do update purchase order lines information. Now I'm running a job. And I'll take this afternoon webinar POL sent to blah, blah, blah. That's the one from today. 1614 is the time of this institution. It happens to be in Amsterdam. And next. And now I can put in my note. Note to the vendor, a public note. Here's a note to the vendor. So I'm going to say, we prefer hardcover when available. Otherwise, we will take paperback. Okay, so now I've added a note to the vendor unconditionally. Next, I could schedule that to run, but we'll talk about scheduling soon. Submit. Now, submit 39 members. Now it's running. Now, when it runs, it doesn't say, okay, I'm going to do the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one until I get to the 39th one. Rather, it takes groups of entities called a bulk. A bulk is a group of entities. And then it does a run where it takes those bulks of entities. Look at that, it already finished. And eventually sends them all to the queue, and they're in the queue, they get sent to be processed, and then they all run. Another page which we didn't look up when we were at Google is the topic we have now, the topic of our job progress details, or view progress details. Here we go. Job progress details, Alma Ex Libris. So this explains it too. And what happened when I just ran that is it takes those 39 entities, those 39 purchase order lines, or let's leave the 39, because if there's a very small amount, it might just be one bulk. But it takes all of the entities, splits them into, as it states here, discrete units of work called bulks, and then it starts to work on them. And it works on them in parallel. It doesn't work on one, then the next, then the next, then the next. It allocates resources and works on each group of those entities. Same thing here. It starts as pending, then it's initialization, then it processes, and then it's final. Let's look at one more example just to actualize what we're doing. By the way, this is what we're going to look at soon. This is what's new, the way we can view the progress details. Let's look at one more example. Let's say I have titles. And let's say within my titles, I have title, contains phrase, glass ceiling. And let's say I also have subject LC contains phrase woman executives. And I'll change this to an or. And I'll also say keywords contain feminists. I'll duplicate this one. Or feminism. Or feminist. So now I'm creating a set of bibliographic records. I have or, everything looks good, search. And I'll do two things here. First, I'm going to save it as a set. Create and filter set. And I'll call this afternoon session bibliographic records, because we're going to use this set now and maybe also later. Afternoon session bibliographic records. I won't make this private. Save. But before we even play with the set, maybe this one here, I want to take one not in the community zone. This one here, relentless progress, reconfiguration, etc., etc. So I'm going to take this one. I could say edit record. And then under editing actions, enhance the record, I can run a process on this. For example, maybe I want to remove all the 900 to 999 fields. Okay, that updates one record. It gets rid of all the 900 to 999 fields, and I save. That is an online transaction. Now, by the way, sometimes an online transaction can trigger another job, but we'll save that for another day. Like, for example, here, when I save one of these records, it could take this woman executives and go to the community zone and do something with the authority record, but we'll save that for another time. I did an online transaction when I did save. However, just like we did with the purchase order lines, I could come along. Let's see, how many were there in there? If I say manage sets and I say content, this is our set. So there are, let that load, 9,237. That's going to be a serious job. So I could come along and say admin, run a job, and then I could take that job that we have. It's actually a normalization process. Remove the 900 to 999 fields. And now say afternoon session bibliographic records and confirm everything and send it. So now it's going to run on those 9,237. You see it's initializing here. Then it's going to go to running, etc. And it's not going to take those 9,000 records and do one after the other. It's going to take groups of them, bulks. And then it's going to do a run where it takes the bulks from a queue and starts processing them. So it processes bulks. Each bulk has several entities in it, and it's processing several bulks simultaneously. You could say, like a lot of simultaneous online transactions, but it's a little more involved than that. When a computer, to put it in simple terms, when a computer, or when a database, to be more exact, when a database is doing an update, there you always have to make sure it's not working on another one that's locked, but we'll save that for another time. Okay, let's see if we can do a refresh here. It's already running. Wow, it already finished 97%. I'm going to give a little preview. I'm going to click this view just for the fun. So you can see here, but I'm getting ahead of myself, but this will just give you a flavor of it because to want to see more. You can see these are the amount of bulks that existed at 1621. That's a minute ago. And you can see this is the amount of bulks waiting for processing. So they were about 42 bulks, and they just kept coming down and down and down until it got to zero when it's all done. You can also see here at different times how many bulks were transferred and how many were in the queue. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll show this more in depth very soon. We're already at 22 past. So that's the difference between a job and an online transaction. Within Alma, there are possibilities to schedule jobs, and there are different types of job scheduling. There are jobs that we ex Libris schedule. All of this is also in the PowerPoint. There are jobs that we ex Libris schedule. They may be dependent on each other. For example, if we come into admin monitor jobs, and this is, let me just refresh that, still at 97%. Now, here, if I come to repository, for example, a classic case of dependable jobs is the authority link bib headings and the authority preferred term correction. Now, it's possible for an institution to turn off the authority preferred term correction, but if it's scheduled, we schedule it. We determine the time. You can turn it off, but we determine the time. Same thing with the authorities link bib headings. Now, these are dependent on each other. The preferred term correction will only happen if a heading is linked to an authority heading. So this has to run first. If this were to run before this, then you'd have to wait a whole nother day or till the next time the link bib headings and the preferred term correction run. But here, this runs at 24 with the assumption that within 4 hours it will finish. It'll finish much earlier than that, but it might be that the institution just went live, institution loaded 500,000 bibliographic records, updated 500,000 bibliographic records. But even if it got to be 4 o'clock, 4 a.m., and this job didn't finish, this still wouldn't start. It would say pending. And sometimes if you come in the morning early and you go into the running, you may see pending because there are a lot of jobs that run in the evening, the community zone updates, etc. You could see it there. Then so these are the scheduled. Now, some of these scheduled jobs, you as users, staff users, can schedule and also determine whether they're going to run or not. And in the scheduled manual jobs, these are the jobs that appear at run a job and then are scheduled. This has only existed maybe a year, maybe a little more, but for the vast history of Alma, which, by the way, we're getting almost to the date. I believe it was August 1st. It was in August of 2012. First Alma institution went live, Boston College. So we're almost at 14 years now. For the vast majority of those 14 years, this didn't exist, the scheduled manual jobs. But let's talk. So a lot of the jobs, the institution can determine the scheduling and some parameters of the job and when they're going to run. For example, if I come to configuration, under acquisitions, we have acquisitions jobs configuration here. And under fulfillment, same thing. We have fulfillment jobs configuration. And under resources, take a wild guess what we're going to have. Right, resource jobs configuration. Let me even put in here, do we have resource jobs configuration or jobs configuration? Easy way to find out. We come here and all we need to do is say jobs configuration. Yes, resource management jobs configuration. So let's take an example here. Maybe I'll come to fulfillment jobs configuration. This borrowing activity report. Right now it says every 1 month on day 2 at 7. Let's say I want to run this every week, every Monday, because I want the patrons to see it at the beginning of the week, or maybe every Sunday night. So first of all, I have determined that it's active. And at the edit scheduling, I'll say I want it weekly and I want it every Monday, every 1 week. I could do it every 2 weeks. Every one Monday at 6 a.m. Then I know, unless I'm in a country where the first day of the work week is Sunday, first day of the work week, patrons get a email 6 a.m. or however I have this configured. They will get an email at 6 a.m., SMS, something, with their borrowing activity report. What do they have on loan? What's overdue? Do they have fines? Etc., etc. I'm going to take a little picture of this just so we can look at something in a moment. I'll take this and I'll say done. And let me go stick this in a Word document just so that I have it for later because I'm going to want to show something. And let's say also while I'm here, we go to, what did we just do? Fulfillment. So let's do acquisitions now. I'll save this. I changed it. Yes, I did. Actually, that's enough because we don't have all that much time. Now, if I come to admin, monitor jobs, and we go to the schedule tab, and I filter this by fulfillment, I should see every month. Here it is. Send periodic fulfillment report. It says every week on Monday at 6 o'clock. The next run is the 20th. Is the 20th a Monday? I bet you it is. 20th is a Monday. Look at that. Perfect. You don't want to see my calendar. So it's ready to run the next Monday at 6 a.m. And everything changed because that's what we said here. We said every Monday at 6 a.m. So, in summary, so far, you can schedule these jobs to run. Some of them we schedule. Most of them, I would say at this stage, you schedule via resources, fulfillment, acquisitions, other, jobs configuration. We saw those three places for fulfillment, acquisitions, and resources. Then there are the run now jobs. Let's say, for example, that job that we ran on the purchase order lines we want to schedule. So I could have said admin run a job. And let's take, what was it, PO line updates. Update PO lines information. So I could come along here and say, I want to run on those purchase order afternoon webinar. Whatever I'm going to do here. Let's say I say, we prefer hardcover. Next. Now, instead of doing submit and run now, maybe I want to run this every day. I'll say daily. And I'll say at end of the day, end of every day. I'll run it at 19. I thought I clicked 19. Okay. And I'll call this, instead of the schedule name update, blah, 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 I'll say blah, 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 and I'll just put YOL during webinar. So when we see this, we'll know that's the one we just made. Save. Submit. So I'm submitting it. Oh, no day specified. He's so good. Oh, because I said daily. Let's say hourly. Every 24 hours. I could have said daily every day. There's a lot of ways I could do this. Submit. Every 20, let's run it twice a day. Because maybe we're doing something else twice a day. Every 12 hours. Next run will be at 19. Okay. Submit. Job will be executed according to the schedule, blah, 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 blah. Confirm. Okay. Now, if I come in here, monitor jobs, schedule manual jobs, here it is. Yoel during webinar, update purchase order lines every 12 hours. Next one is scheduled for 19. And then today at 19, 7 p.m., which means the next one would be 19 and 5. So 12 minus 5 will be 7. It'd be at 7 a.m. will be the next one. 7 a.m. tomorrow, every 12 hours. Okay, that's the scheduling. There's two more. I'll very quickly point them out. There's a method on the profiles. There's the publishing profiles and the import profiles. Let's just look at one of them due to time. Let's even run a publishing profile now. So let's say I have that set that I made a little while ago, that set of however many records it was. Let's even go see. We know what it was. Admin managed sets. The afternoon session bibliographic records. So if I come along here under resources and I say publishing profiles, this is a popular one. Most institutions, I would say, more than 50%, are running a publishing profile scheduled because they're exporting their records in some kind of a format with some type of a manipulation to some type of an external source. So I'm going to make a brand new profile. And I'll call this the official afternoon webinar publishing profile. And I'll just call it the afternoon. Then I have less words to spell properly. We'll just leave it spelled like that. Scheduling. So here I can schedule. Let's say I want this every day on Monday at 9 a.m. Done. And I choose that set. And let's say I'll send it to an FTP server. And I'm going to do it on the item portfolio level. And actually, no, I'm going to put it, okay, next. Then I'm going to do link data, of course, and I'm going to get rid of my 900 fields. I'm really giving it some work. And I'm going to put the creation date in the 900 subfield A. And I will put because I want it to work hard. I'm going to put the barcode in the 901 subfield A. I'm going to add holdings information. And that's it. Save. So that's now going to be scheduled. If I look at it here, here it is, created today, every one day at 9 o'clock. And if we come here to, I could also run it manually. In fact, I'm going to run it manually now just because then we'll have a job. And if I come to monitor jobs, under schedule, that's a publishing profile. So let's say publishing. And we said every day, here it is, the afternoon webinar publishing. It's scheduled every day at 9. Next time it's going to run is every Monday, excuse me. Next time it's going to run is the 20th, which was already so as a Monday at 9. Okay. Now we're on to our topic. So when we send a job, brand new topic now. All of that was the background so we can get to the heart of what we're talking about. The job progress details. So new in the running tab and the history tab is this here, records with progress details. If for what in the view, and if we click that view, we get here, but let's not go in yet because we want to talk about it. It's also in the history tab. If you don't see this, and you may not see it depending on what you've done in your institution, you need to click this cogwheel. And within the cogwheel, choose that you want to see progress details. For example, if I don't have it checked, I don't see it now. So if you don't see it, go into the cogwheel and choose the progress details. Okay, now I'm going to run a different job. And immediately after we run it, this is the plan. I'm telling you the plan. It's a carefully constructed plan that everything works according to, as you can see, I got everything carefully constructed step by step so that timing wise, everything is going to be good. So let's run a job. Let's update some portfolios. And then we're going to look at the progress details and explain how it all works. So let's go to do a search by electronic portfolios. Up here. And let's say I want, for example, that the interface contains the phrase CCC get it now. And I'll make this a big set. Hopefully not too big, because we want it the delicate balance between long enough that we got a lot of data there and not too long that we don't see it finish. But this is going to be perfect because we've already tested it. So let's say I want the CCC get it now, and I'll also say University of Southern California. Those are the interfaces. Okay. University of Southern California, everything looks, I like to just make sure if it doesn't say, did you mean, then it's good. Okay. Search. Now I'm going to make a set out of these. Oh, I know why it didn't work. I forgot to say or. Again, never an Alma error, always a human error. Let's save these, 72,464. I'll call this afternoon webinar portfolios to update. And now I'm going to run it. Admin run a job. I'm not going to schedule it. I'm just going to run it. We'll call this update portfolio. Let me just write here portfolio. Change electronic portfolio information. Here's the one we just made right now. And let's say I want to put in an override public note. Let's say I want to say may require additional authentication when off campus. And unconditionally, next, submit. Okay. It starts out, first of all, it doesn't say pending. It's not dependent on another job. And it's not dependent on resources. Alma just sends it to that 72 to update those 72,000 items. It starts, as you see, initializing. Once it's not pending, which it's not in our case, it will always start as initializing. I believe that's here as well. Yes. It wasn't pending, so now it's at initializing. The job begins. The operations performed during this stage vary depending on the job. This job does work with bulk. So right now, as we speak, it's probably already finished. It's creating the bulks. The bulks we already determined are the units of work. So right now, at that initialization, it's saying, okay, this guy's sending me 72,000 portfolios to update. These are the resources we have. Let's start breaking it down into groups, and let's send them over to the We could have done a nice animation with this shy. We could have had like a little cartoon characters taking bulks to the from the queue to the job and running them. But right now, that's what's happening. It took all those entities, it divided them up into bulks. Now it's sending it from the queue to go run. Then it's going to be processing. That's when it's actually working. Let's go back and see what's happening. I'm going to do a refresh. Nice. So now it's at 20%. And I have the view here. If I click this view, let's see what's happening. Nice. So it started out with about 675 bulks. That's 675 groups of entities that need to run. Now, I had said entity, a purchase order line, a portfolio. It's a little more involved than that. Otherwise, of course, there wouldn't be more bulks than there are purchase order lines. It's more, it's how many internal activities, we'll say, does it need to do? And you can see this is gradually coming down. And when the job is finished, it will get to zero because there will be no more bulks waiting for processing. Then we can see here, it started at 1641, which is the Amsterdam time. It got up to 1643 because that's when I clicked view, but it's still running as we speak now. And you can see here a lot of bulks were transferred, but here less. Here it's going up. And then it came down a little bit for some reason, but it's transferred the bulks from the queue. The green, it's in the queue, and then it's already transferred to be worked. Here we can see progress rate. That's how is this job running compared to a typical job, a typical being the normal. So this has run about 100 times because you can see this is about 5 and this is almost 100. Let's even say a little more than 100. And if I click here, you can see the progress rate distribution is jobs of the same type for the past 3 months. So for the past 3 months, this job has run over 100 times. In comparative to those previous times, it's normal. Or if I come up here, I'll see exactly, it's going to say on top, this progress rate is normal. Why is this important? Shai's going to speak at the end about why we've done this, but a big part of it is transparency. So you can see what's happening. And if someone comes and say, how come my job is so slow? It's looking at it objectively, not subjectively, not somebody sitting here doing refresh, refresh, refresh. How come it's not done? What's going on? And say, oh, but it used to work so much faster. Here you've got it all exactly what happened, what time everything happened. If this gets stuck, if I get out here now and do refresh and look at it again, now it's at 57%. I could theoretically see that there's a problem too. Maybe these jobs kept coming down, and then I open a ticket and say the update portfolios job is very slow, and I see that it always gets stuck 3 minutes after running. I see that it's no longer sending the bulks to be processed. Here you can also see a nice graph. So here also, most of them are transferred. There's a smaller amount up on top. This is still moving along, and if I didn't already state it, here it includes the job that's run now. I'm going to leave this one here to save some time and run another job. That's at 66.88%. Before this gets to 100, we'll finish our previous one. So now let's run a job that's going to do an update to all of those bibliographic records that we made before in a set. And I said we're going to use this set later. Now is the later. This afternoon session bibliographic records. Let's say I now want to run on this whole set of, let's see how many, 9,237 records. I think I already ran on that. But let's do it again. Admin, run a job. And I'll take that process which removes the 900 fields. And just to run a process. Here's my afternoon session bibliographic records. And next, submit. Now this job is going to run right away, even though there's here we have the nice pending. But it's going to go into running in a moment. But this is the pending we didn't see before. This is the pending here. A submitted job waiting to be triggered by Alma. If no available resource systems exist, it remains in pending. Let's go see what's happening. So it's waiting, and now I refresh. There we go. Now it's running. It's not pending. Two jobs can run at the same time when there's no dependency between them. And let's see, this just started. We're not going to see anything very interesting, but let's see what we do see. So there's no information here yet because it's just started. It hasn't yet done anything. But we will see these get filled in a moment. Let's see what's happening here. It's at 90%. Okay, now this is already at 54%. So here, this is soon going to be an actual line because this is showing us how many bulks there are waiting for processing at different times. And right now it's showing me 17 o'clock. That's server time. Or a little before 17 o'clock, I see here. 1648, which is the time in Amsterdam now. So that's how many. It's got a little more than 42. They're here. Here already a few have transferred. If we come back, we're going to see progress on this. I'm coming back here. 99%, 97 and 99%. Nice. Let's see at the 99%. Look at this. It's at 99%. It's almost at the zero. Oh, it finished. I caught it just in time. And almost zero. Here you can see almost all of them have been transferred and it's still normal. It's all done now. So now we'll come see it done. I'm going to go to the history tab. This is my bibliographic one. This is the one that completed. Let's go to the view. Wonderful. So this came all the way down. It started with almost 700 bulks waiting for processing at 1641. And it finished at 1648. Now, the reason you see ones here that are green, you might be saying, hey, the job finished. How come it's still bulks in queue? That's because this is a snapshot of whatever time is at the bottom. It's not the snapshot of now. The snapshot of now is here where there's no bulks. This is as it went along. And of course, we still have the regular report. If we come here and say report, someone asked me today, how much time do they think I spend on a whole day with that thing spinning? Very little time because we've made it very fast in Alma. So we still have this. We still see when it started, when it finished. It took a total of 8 minutes and 3 seconds. This report hasn't changed. What's changed is this view. Let's see. This one's still running. Let's do a view when it's at 97%. And now we have this nice graph. Previously, we only had one dot here because we only had the bulks. It wasn't coming down and getting to zero. But now we do see it with the graph. And eventually, like our other job, this will come all the way to the bottom and finish. By the way, just a little note. When a job has an FTP, it tends to wait another 2 or 3 minutes at the end till the FTP finishes. And I'm going to turn this over to Shai now. We won't wait for this one to finish. We saw the other one that finished. Everything is progressing nicely here. So Shai, I'm going to turn this over to you. I'm going to stop the sharing or you can just share actually. You don't even have to wait for me to stop sharing, but I will stop sharing. So take it away, Shai. And if there's anything interesting that came in the chat, feel free to bring that up to everybody as well.
Thanks, Yoel, and thanks for this presentation. I would like to start by thanking our design partner in actually delivering this functionality, which is UCS, University California System. They were the one who pushed us in delivering this functionality. They were the design pattern, and many of the ideas that you're seeing came from this institution. So thanks a lot for UCS. Like Yoel said, we believe in improving the transparency, enhancing visibility, and we think this will benefit everyone. And we really think it will help us improve functionality, improve specific jobs performance, improve overall performance. So this is really what we think. Let's take some scenarios, some examples where visibility or transparency would help us troubleshooting job performance. Let's take an example, a job ran for 10 minutes, and eventually I'm looking over on the report, and I'm seeing that a single record was processed. So if I would go into that job progress screens, I would notice that for example, that the initialization phase took 10 minutes and the actual execution took only 1 second, which means the job ran. Now I have the ability to understand that the job actually ran on a large set, on a huge set. So the entire initialization phase took a lot. The actual execution took really small portion of the job's execution. So this is something I did not have the ability to understand till now. Now I do. If I feel like the job is slow comparing to previous execution, I did not have the capability of, with ease of comparing to previous same type execution. Now I do. So this is another thing that would enhance the transparency. And of course, if I think I'm seeing some type of correlation between jobs and everything is slow, didn't happen for a while. Let's hope it won't happen again, but it did happen in the past. Now I do have the option to see. I'll go into that graph Yoel showed, when I'm looking for this steady decrease, and I'll see that same jobs, paused on the same exact time. Now I have the understanding that this is a system-wide issue, and I can open a case to Exlibris to us, and we would, make the absolute effort to fix that, as soon as we can. So we're constantly are making improvements to the job mechanism, more functionality, different way of scheduling, different jobs, more jobs, but we're also constantly enhancing the job performance, system-wide or specific jobs performance. And we would like to encourage you to use these tools to give us more feedback so we can introduce more improvement and more fixes. So thanks everyone, and thanks Yoel.
I really like someone's comment here, by the way. Someone wrote, this is a nice description of how the bulks work. He says, sounds like a grocery store that has multiple checkout lines checking people out at the same time. That's a really nice example, which I think I'm going to use in the future, if you permit me. You have a lot of different people, all has to get done, and rather than have one I'm glad you didn't say it's not like a self-checkout. That's a whole nother story. But yes, instead of waiting one after the other, you just send them all simultaneously. Very nice. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, let's see. Someone says, why do some jobs display a view link for progress details and some don't? Shai, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we have some small portions of our jobs which are not utilizing the bulk mechanism yet. For these jobs, we're not displaying the view progress. So only jobs which are utilizing the bulks, which run in parallel, for this one, you would see the progress details, and these are the larger portion out of the jobs population.
Someone else asks, is it true that this enhancement only added progress details without adding any report parameter options? For example, currently we can't change portfolio coverage dates in bulk. That is true. This development that we're talking about now didn't change any of the actual jobs parameters, but it didn't add new fields, take away fields, or anything else like that. All it does is show once the job runs, how is it being processed? It didn't change the jobs, and it also didn't change when you view the report of the jobs. Okay, let's see if there's anything else new. Someone says, okay, thank you. It looks like we got them. They're talking about my or and Boolean operator. We can skip that part. Aren't we supposed, someone says, aren't we supposed to run a job on the itemized set? A job can be run on a logical set or an itemized set. An itemized set is a static set with a certain population that doesn't change, and a logical set works on a query and constantly gets updated. Jobs can run on either itemized or logical. That's all I see here. I don't see any other questions that came in. Someone says, I find the job reports very valuable. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for letting us know. Okay. When we do patron loads, let's take this will be the last one because we got 1 minute. When we do patron loads, we sometimes have patron records which can't be updated because the patron is set to internal instead of external. I have to manually change them for the next load. Okay, that's the way a job works, correctly the way a job works. We didn't touch the way the job works. We only did the change of after the job runs, how do we see how the job is progressing? He's saying that's why it's useful for me. Oh, because you can then go identify which patrons need to be updated. Okay. All right. So as usual, we'll be sending out a message to the Alma list, the Primo list, a bunch of other lists, stating stating that the recording is ready. You'll be able to get the recording from the Roadmap Webinar Series page, from YouTube, from the Education Webinars page, or just going to do a search in Google. And like I pointed out, September 1st, September 2nd, we already have a webinar scheduled. You can already register. Registration is open. And we hope to see you then. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.